Hi, it's Timo. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Hope you're all doing well. It's been quite quiet on the channel recently. I haven't uploaded too many videos in July. And there's not been a massive amount of transfer news from a Norwich City perspective in the last couple of weeks. It's all been quite silent. But now we're, 12 days away until the Premier League begins. 12 days away until Norwich face Liverpool, 5:30 at Carrow Road. And guys, I'm so buzzing for it. I'm sure you guys are buzzing for Liverpool as well. Maybe not so much looking forward to the game in terms of the result, but just going back to Carrow Road and just the whole experience of a new season beginning back in the Premier League. I'm really looking forward to that. So yes, I do apologise that there hasn't been too many videos on the channel recently, but going forward there's going to be lots of videos. We've got match previews coming again. We've of course got match reviews. I've got hopefully some new projects starting as well, which I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing. So yeah, moving forward on the channel, lots more content coming your way. And I'm really excited to show you guys, some of the stuff as well, and some of the new stuff that's going to be happening on Norwich City Central. So do subscribe for consistent content. And yes, as I said, a lot of videos coming your way. In this video, I thought I'd kind of do a transfer roundup and kind of a transfer update. As I said, it's been very quiet on the transfer window perspective from Norwich. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What has been your overall thoughts of the transfer window? Of course, we still have 4 more weeks to go, and a lot can change. One transfer from another club can set off a whole precedent and so many different changes. So you still got to always be observant, and lots of transfers can start coming through. But it's been very quiet, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on the transfer window. Of course, Norwich City have been linked with a lot of players. The Norwich City players have been linked away recently, and just be going through some of those links at the moment, and kind of my perspective on them. In terms of the transfer window as a whole, I think it's been relatively good. I think it's a tough one to tell really in terms of my perspective of the transfer window, because we've still got 4 more weeks to go. But of course, the signings have been great. Billy Gilmore was probably on my #1 wish list. I'm so glad we pulled that off. And Pierre-Lise Melou looks a really good player. Rashika and Angus Gunn as well. So 4 signings in there, all which I'm really happy with. But of course, I think we'd like to have seen maybe 6 or 7 at this stage. I think we'd like to have seen definitely #1 a new centre-back and a new attacking player as well at this point. So I've been impressed with the signings, but I would have thought we would have made a couple more by this point, particularly when you lose a player like Buendia. You really want to have some more attacking players come in there. So yeah, overall I've been content with the transfer window, but I do want to see Norwich City sign a couple more big name players and a couple of players who are going to go straight into our first team, to try and help improve the team. Of course, it's great that we kept Cantwell, Aarons. It looks like we're going to keep Cantwell and Aarons. Well, that's the situation at the moment. But losing Buendia was a real big one, and we know how much quality he is. We know just how good Buendia is. So I'd like to have seen a couple of attacking players come in. But that's my overall perspective. In terms of players we've been linked with, there's been a couple of really exciting links. Most notably the Greek winger, isn't it? Christos Tzolis, 19 years old. And it's a really interesting link because it kind of come out of nowhere. He's been linked with big clubs, Man United, by Borussia Dortmund. And he's a real exciting player. 19, left winger, blessed with a lot of pace, a lot of technical ability. And Norwich have been linked with him in a kind of a £10 million deal. Of course, we've got really good links with the Greek club PAOK. Dimitri Giannoulis, of course, we signed him from there for £7 million. And in terms of a lowdown on the player Tzolis, I'm sure you guys have heard all about him because there's been strong links kind of all over the week. Really good play. He's done really good stuff in Greece, and in terms of from a lot of Greece journalists and a lot of Greek fans, he's probably regarded as their #1 talent. And look, he's 19 years old, so he hasn't had a lot of experience playing at the top level of Greece, but he's already scored, I think, 16 goals and 10 assists. And yeah, really regarded as kind of Greece's next big star. So, and of course, when you hear clubs like Man United and Borussia Dortmund are interested, then that shows what a high caliber player he is. And yeah, although he hasn't had a lot of experience, I think Tzolis is someone we really should be signing, purely because I think he fits the bill in terms of the type of player we need. Can play on the wing, can play in the number 10. And yeah, I'd really like to see the deal come off. In terms of what the club are asking for, we've put in 2 or 3 bids. Stuart Webber put in a £4 million bid, which I have to admit is very insulting for that kind of player. And we've started to rise the bids. I think the highest bid we've put in is £9 million now. I think Payuk are looking for around a 12 to 15 million pound deal. So it's going to be really interested if that one comes off. Of course, we was very quick on signing Rasika for 10 million, and it just seems we're a little bit indecisive about what we're going to do with this one. For me, if we look at our attacking players, Cantwell, Dow, Rasika are all good players, but Hernandez and Poyeta, I'm not sure how much they're going to be involved, and we need a player like this. Of course, he's got a great relationship with Dimitri Giannoulis. We need attacking players now. I think I've been okay with the transfers we've done, but the last 2 weeks I've been a bit disappointed we haven't signed a new centre-back, a couple of attacking players to really give us a lot more depth and quality going forward in this Premier League campaign. So he's someone I'd really like to see us sign. And look, we've been putting £10 million bids in for Christian Ajer, centre-back who didn't come off, who went to Brentford, and we've got the money to spend. I think we've got probably about 15-20 million pounds to spend when you consider the Buendia sale and the promotion sale. So we've got to be making signings now, and he's one I'd really like to see. Another one, Brandon Williams, of course, Manchester United left back. Looks like he's going to be going out on loan, and Norwich have been highly linked with him, and a lot of journalists are saying the deal's close. So that's a really interesting one. Brandon Williams, of course, can play left back, can play right back. So he's someone who's going to come in. I don't think he's going to be first choice, which is a bit weird because if Man United are loaning someone out, you'd kind of want him to play regular football. But if Max Aarons gets injured or potentially leaves, Brandon Williams could come in there. Of course, if Dimitri Giannoulis might not be able to play every single game, so Brandon Williams can come in there. So it seems a good deal on paper in terms of a really good cover at left back and right back. And look, we've got Ballymumba and Sam Byram, and you've got obviously question marks over Sam Byram's injuries, and Ballymumba, of course, is still very young. So it looks like a good deal. Maybe I'm a little bit put off by the £2 million loan fee. I think that's a little bit weird, and considering we signed Angus Gunn for 2.5 million on a permanent deal, I'm not sure if Norwich would be prepared to pay the £2 million Brandon Williams fee. But yeah, it's a really interesting one. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. And lastly, I want to talk about Todd Cantwell very, very briefly as well. Of course, losing Buendia was gutting, and he's the number one player I think Norwich City fans wanted to keep. But on Todd Cantwell, obviously been linked with Aston Villa, and this all really depends on whether Jack Grealish goes to Manchester City. I think Aston Villa could be one of the surprise packages for a top 6, maybe even top 4 finish. Buendia, Leon Bailey, Watkins, Grealish, of course. That's a really exciting team Aston Villa have got, particularly in attacking areas. And if Jack Grealish goes to Man City, Aston Villa have identified Todd Cantwell as their number one target. And if they put in a £35 million deal, I can see Todd Cantwell leaving Norwich. So that's a really interesting one. And yeah, that's how the transfer window is at the moment. The kind of word I would say to describe the transfer window from my perspective is I'm content, but I want more. And I think also a lot of transfers are kind of at a stalemate. And I think if Norwich City want to give themselves the best chance of surviving, they need to start signing players who are going to improve the team, particularly in the centre-back area, particularly in those offensive areas as well. But that's kind of a transfer update. As I said earlier on in the video, lots of content is now going to be coming. I'm so looking forward to match day experiences and being back at Carrow Road and just being around the whole vibe, of Carrow Road. You've really missed it, and you really miss seeing fans in the stadium if you watch it on TV. And of course, lots of other content, match reviews, match previews, and hopefully a new project which is going to be starting very soon. So thank you guys for watching. If you are new to Norwich City Central, do subscribe and let me know your thoughts on those transfers of Tzolis, Williams and Todd Cantwell potentially leaving. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.